Rises. I did a whole live earlier from my car, and it turns out there was no sound whatsoever. So if you're joining me, can you give me like a thumbs up or something, a smiley face to let me know that you can hear me or that my microphone is working? Either way, my message earlier was about checking in on your family, even the ones who drive you nuts, even like not checking on them to see anything negative, just if you know that they're struggling and that they're probably not going to get out of it on their own, uh, that you are the one sent to help them. You don't have to get down in the ditch with them, but at least check in on them. So, the live I did earlier was an update about the ones I've been dealing with, which are my brother and my mom. My mom, I think, is going to go ahead and go double down, go back to the hospital where she needs to go because she needs medication. She knows that, we know that, and pretty much her care is above our pay grade. This is we've been talking about it for so long. It's a fact. It's a law at this point, not just a theory. So I think that I have managed to convince my brother also that if he wants to do things differently to where he's not stuck in this loop, this feedback loop from hell where it's like once you start to get better, something happens, someone comes in and interferes with it. Well, this is a long pattern. Every time you try to level up or leave the past behind, basically, you try to have healthier habits, you try to stay away from the toxicity will follow you around. It's like temptation. Do you want to go to the new place that's unfamiliar and uncomfortable, or do you want to go back to what you know? And most of the time, we want to go back to what we know. That's why when people go to rehab, they almost always relapse. Because in rehab, someone is watching them and making them do what they're supposed to do. There's boundaries, there's check-ins, there's, someone to answer to. But after that, when they're at home, there's no one to answer to, there's no one to tell on you, there's no one to report back to, so they fall back into their old ways, usually pretty quickly. The reason they weren't is because it wasn't around, not because they actually changed from the inside. So, when you're dealing with a family member, a loved one, anyone, it doesn't have to be your family member. Just be someone you care about. You know they're struggling. You know they need to get help. They've told you because they need that positive reinforcement, that insistence that, sorry, the mosquitoes got me earlier. The positive reinforcement that this is what's good for them and that somebody cares about what's good for them. That even though they haven't made the right choice yet, the right choice is still available and that you're rooting for them to go that way. It's isolating to make life changes like that. To go from dark into light is to have to get off the playground, is to have to get away from old friends, old jobs, old places, old habits, exes, whatever it is that keeps you either doing those things for leisure or for hobby or for recreation, or the worst kind, it's doing it for self-soothing because those people are triggering, and the only ways that you can cope are by self-medicating. That means you have to get away from those people who are hurting you and putting you in that mindset to where the only way to shut it off is that they're overpowering you. You have to numb it out. Well, most of the time, drug addiction is not someone's problem, it's their solution, and it's a solution to a problem they don't know how to fix, and they don't know how to say that they have, or they don't know how to identify. I could be an addiction specialist at this point. Not only do I know the causes of it and the treatment of it, I know the beginning, middle, and end of it. I know what it looks like when somebody can really do the program and do the steps because they wanted it, and I know what it looks like when somebody's being forced to do it, and the likelihood of their crash out is 100% at the end of the program. I was a drug court sponsor for a little while before my brother passed away. Him and his girlfriend both had to do the steps, and the girlfriend did them, and then I was her sponsor, and then I sponsored others, but she kind of really just used me as a bridge to keep in contact with my brother. But it ended up being, she really did do the program though, and she changed her life around. She got like a welding certification, she got married, she got a house, she got her teenage daughter back. Her teenage daughter has disabilities, and she really had to put in the effort to not just be a parent again, but to really be on duty and be present 100% of the time. she didn't get to be like, okay, well, now that my teenager's old enough to help me, she can move in with me. It was like, well, she's a teenager and she needs a mom, so I'm gonna go get her. I'm gonna do the right thing. We both lost my brother, but it still caused his ex to correct course. It still, she stuck with it, and I was absolutely certain that when tragedy struck that she would fall off the wagon, and she did. And then she was like, I tried to hold off for as long as I could, and then the sadness got to me and I fell down, and I just told her it's okay. I mean, people fall off for lesser reasons. I'm not saying that your grief is invalid, but you do remember how you felt before you got better and the reasons that you wanted to get better. And then once you got better, something painful happened and it tested your ability to self-soothe, to cope, and you went the wrong way first. That's all right. At least you turned it back around. And she's fixing it. Now she works in telecommunications. She lives out of state because it was easier for her to just move all the way on and leave the past in the past instead of have those constant reminders and still try to stay sober, which she knew she wouldn't do. So, to the relatives that I'm talking about now who are struggling, the only way that they're going to be able to stay even on course, like even getting up every morning, is to go ahead and go the steps. Like, they have to move off their playground too. They have to get away from their old friends and their exes and their old family members who always have it, and it's always going to be around because that's what's in the bag, that's what's there. To do something different is to basically be an outcast, because after you say no more for me, thanks, and you walk away, they feel judged, they feel challenged, they feel like you're silently calling them out on the fact that they're not of the same mindset, that they don't feel like what they're doing is wrong. Well, even if it wasn't illegal, health-wise, mentally, it's wrong because it deteriorates your vessel, it deteriorates your quality of life. You're trading all these other things for this one thing. And that's not to say that everyone starts in the same place, because people who start with nothing but abandonment and pain and fear and angst and starvation, they're not on drugs just because they think it's cool. They're on drugs because that's all that's ever been around. That's all that's ever been offered to them. That's the way that their family makes money. That's the way that their friends socialize. That's the way that that's the icebreaker for their environment. And it's hard enough to try to find your place in the animal kingdom, like basically, where do I belong? And at a young, impressionable age, when people are trying to find out where they belong, with no guidance, they usually end up in a dark alley. They don't make good decisions because they're not seeing good decisions. Movies, media also projects a certain image of the bad boy, the villain, right? Always trying to get you to sympathize with the villain so that you kind of see their plot. It's that mindset that you would rather go dark than be light that causes these problems. It's cool. It's not cool. The self-destruction is not cool. We idolize like self-destruction, like a celebrity. Okay, I'm gonna name drop Billie Eilish, okay, because this one's like a freaking phenomenon, right? When she first starts out, she's just this young shiny thing, right? Pre-fame, beautiful voice, very gifted, and her giftedness makes it to where people notice her really quick. It's like a siren. Oh my goodness, what is that? It's like something new, and it gets everyone's attention. She's fueled, she's inspired, she's hungry for it, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. This idea I had is actually happening. And so she puts her all into it, and she really connects with the people that she's seeking those who are seeking her, right? So I had the blessing of getting to see this woman at her first like world tour, like pre-COVID. I got to see Billie Eilish pre-6 Grammys, and it was fucking amazing, you guys. To watch a flower like bloom, it's impressive. But something else happened for her also. As soon as she started, it was like skyrocketing. It was an overnight type thing. She's in the spotlight, and it's amazing. There's this whole arena full of people, and they've got their phones out, and they're looking at her, and they're recording, and she's talking, and she stops for a minute, and she asks everyone to put their phone down. She says, really be here. Just be present in the moment. I'm going to be present in this moment. So for a second, nobody took any pictures. Nobody was watching her through their phone. Everyone did what she asked and just put the phone down and gave their undivided attention. It was like watching someone see their power. It was like literally just you wave your hands and the crowd stands up or sits down. And while she was talking, the people who had been on their phones and were taking pictures and were recording and things like that, once we put our phone down, she was like, turn to the left, turn to the right. And we actually saw the faces of the people next to us. So that was her at the beginning, like in absolute disbelief. Seeing is believing, like the magic is real for her. Her heart was wide open. Then cut to the end of the year, she gets all the award nominations, all 6 Grammys, right? She's like, this is never before done, youngest, most famous, spectacularness, right? And then right after that, immediately after that, where she would be doing every single thing that could be thrown at her after that because of all that recognition. Well, then we had COVID, quarantine. And in the quarantine, nobody could move around, especially celebrities. Like, it hit everyone, young, old, famous, poor, rich, whatever. Everyone had to go by these certain rules, and the rules were kind of changing daily. But it made it to where, in her young mind, it was like, how do I stay relevant? I just now got out there in the spotlight. How do I keep their attention when no one's allowed to go anywhere? And this took a toll on this person. It's the first time you've seen someone hit stardom and then be set down. Not because of an accident or a career hiccup or anything like that. It's just things beyond her control, our control, were going on. So she had to go by those rules and she had to sit down. Well, then when things opened back up, it was like, am I still relevant? Did they still care? Yeah, she's still her. She's still Billie Eilish, right? So in spite of the fact that there was a timeout in between when everything she had was out there to, okay, now what are you putting out here? And the slight changes and the slight differences were based on her digesting that whole experience. That whole experience changed her, what she puts out, how she feels. And so then there's been a stark contrast between how it was when she started and she was hungry for it, and how it is now where she's more sad, more melancholy. Like, did I really earn that? Have I really put that out there? Am I really that person? Or was it a fluke? Is that like, have I peaked? Everyday people deal with this stuff. You do not have to be a celebrity to feel like the moment has already passed, to feel like your greatness is gone. The greatness is in you. The greatness is what it is you have to offer the world that's not already out here. Thinking that you can do something as big as be famous, if that's what you really, really want in your heart of hearts, you can do that. You can do that. It's not impossible. If you wanted to be a painter, if you put paintbrush to canvas, you are a painter. It doesn't have to be sold. It doesn't have to be in a gallery. You don't have to have critics come by and judge you. You are a painter. Just like if you sing, you're a singer. If you write, you're a writer. You don't have to have the validation of a crowd to determine whether or not you are who you think you are. More times than not, asking the crowd, who am I, will give you mixed answers. They don't know who you are. You don't know who you are yet. You are in the making, right? You are in becoming. You're in the process of becoming. So when you feel like maybe your best has already gone by, maybe you've already put out what there is to put out, it's never too late. It's never too late to start doing something else. You're still you. If you were great then, you're great now. If you haven't seen your greatness yet, look for it. What you're looking for is looking for you too. Accidents happen. Life happens. Circumstances happen. All those things happen to kind of shape you and form you and develop you, like mold you like the clay, right? You're not in your final form. You're always in a state of becoming. So forgive yourself for what you have not already become, and do not limit yourself by thinking that you've already done your best, that there's no more to come out of you. If you're feeling uninspired, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling judged, those things will definitely dampen your abilities. They'll make you shut it down. Fear of criticism usually shuts people down. Do it for you. Do it for you because you love doing it, not because someone else told you they would love for you to do it. At the end of the day, if you need the love of a crowd, it can be taken back. The love of an individual is far more valuable than the love of a crowd. They give and take. They trending is temporary. Some things last forever. Don't try to follow the crowd because they're walking off a cliff. Don't try to follow a trend that makes you uncomfortable. Don't do things for attention when that attention can easily be taken away from you. You need your own attention. You don't have to give it to others, and you don't have to get it from others. You, at the end of the day, you got to be able to live with yourself. You have to know what you're willing to sacrifice for the things that you want. You have to know what you're willing to let go of because you won't sacrifice that. You have to stand on something. People, I say this a lot, but people who are assholes are dependable, a lot of times more dependable than the nice guy who just tells you what you want to hear. A yes man will yes man their way through, even though it's probably not in your best interest. They just don't want to hurt your feelings. They just don't want to make you feel bad. So they won't tell the truth about things. And an asshole will be blunt and will hurt your feelings and will tell you when it's a bad idea and will stop you and call you on your shit because they do care. And if that's too much for you, you take a break, you back away, and you're like, man, I'm a little too, know yourself, I'm too sensitive to handle that kind of criticism right now. But know that they're good for the truth too, that they're always like that, and you can depend on that. Be someone that people can depend on, but try not to be an asshole. We're all still childlike in some ways, we just got told. Playground politics still work on everyone. Nobody wants to be the kid sitting alone in the sandbox. But if all the other kids are bullies, then it's okay to be alone in the sandbox because you don't need to be a bully to be heard. You don't need to shit on other people to get to the top. You don't have to push someone else down to feel big, right? People need to be able to lean on each other, and the maybe not camaraderie, like I said, you don't need to get down in the ditch with them, but from base level to top tier, everyone has their insecurities, everyone has their shortcomings, everyone has their vulnerabilities. It's cowardice and lazy to go for the easy things with people, to pick on their looks or to pick on their voice or their home or something like that. Like, maybe they could change it. Technically, you can have plastic surgery and you can work more and buy a bigger house, right? But it should be a priority not to make people feel like that. It takes no extra effort to be kind to someone. It takes no extra effort to be encouraging to someone. And it takes kind of going out of your way to be catty and sideways with people. It's lessening you to try to lessen other people. While you're being sandpaper and you're just rubbing them raw, you're getting all old, used up, and wore out, and they're getting all shiny and polished. So, when someone rubs you the wrong way, take it in. See if there's any truth in it, if that's why it's really upsetting you, because, yeah, the truth can be very painful. But if there is no truth in it, shrug it off. That's a them thing, not a you thing. For future reference, if you can see a person crashing out, let's not idolize that. Let's not enjoy watching them fall. Let's help, put their crown back upright without even saying it was tilted. We can see people's vulnerabilities. We can see their insecurities. It's going for low fruit to do things like that. So don't take that bait. Don't be that person. Don't get yourself caught up gossiping about people, assuming things about people, gathering around the water cooler to outcast one, because you know what? A lot of those tactics come from people not wanting to be the one being talked about. So they get on the bandwagon, and even if they're not talking about that other person, they sit back and let them get talked about. Don't do that either. Doing it to another person is bad enough, but seeing it done to another person and not doing anything about it is just as bad, because you knew and you didn't do anything about it, and that's not right. If you see someone being bullied, if you see someone being pushed to the edge, if you're watching a video and you're looking in the comment section and someone is trolling the speaker or even the commenters, just to try to lessen them, cut them down, embarrass or insult them, cut it out. Cut it out. Moderate it. Cut it off. Say something. Remove the comment or retort back to the person, because people do need defending. We all feel tough, but there's always a time you could use backup. There's always a time that it really, really help if someone did just stand up for you. Be someone who stands up for other people. Be someone who's considerate of other people, and it will come back to you. And there will be time when you feel like you just need some support, you just need some understanding, you just need some grace, and that grace and understanding will be extended to you because of what you've extended to others. It's practice what you preach, but even if you're not preaching, it's good practice and good spiritual hygiene to try to treat others well, even if they're not good people. Them being shitty shouldn't make you shitty. Don't let them lessen you, right? Even if you have to make distance, even if you have to love them from a distance, still be loving. That's what we need. Not hate on hate, not matching dirt with dirt. That doesn't fix anything. It just prolongs it. Just like the blame game, it prolongs it. No matter how much buck passing goes on, it doesn't get the problem solved. Taking accountability gets the problem solved. Whether it's your fault or not, doing something about it gets the problem solved. And eventually, they all follow, because we all need these solutions, right? Be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. Until next time, guys, I love you.